Hello fellow investor, in this video we are going to discover which one is the best stockbroker in the UAE, but in general in the Middle East. There will be a comparison between Baraka, Raseed and Sarwa trade. We'll take a deeper look about how this three app works, from opening the account, transfer the money, which information we have, which kind of trade we can do, and their paid and extra feature. In order, at the end of this video, I think we are going to discover which one the best choice if you want to start investing in the UAE in 2023. As usual, timestamp of the video into the description. If you didn't do yet, please subscribe to the channel and let's start it. When it comes to onboarding, the three apps work exactly the same because the documents you need are always the same as your passport, which I'm sure there is no any problem with that, and the proof of address. Proof of address can be a little bit tricky. In general, I use the DIWA, so water electricity bill, because as you can see here, it's reported very clear your address. But if for some reason you don't have the DIWA in your name, you don't have the bills in your name, you can use or your phone bill, or also if you don't have that, you can use your bank account statement. In the bank account statement, you can take for sure the one where is stated your name and your address, so it should work just fine. But when it comes now to transfer and withdraw money is where we see most of the difference of these three brokers. Let's start take a look of Baraka. As you can see right here, I put on screen, that is my phone. There are 4 different ways to deposit money. The first two are Apple Pay or debit card, which is exactly the same at the end because Apple Pay uses a debit card. As you can see, there are a fee, but this fee are reimbursed up for transfer up to $1,000. So it's basically free if you are not transferring big amount of money. The other two options are to connect a bank account. You can see here there is a list of banks that are supported. Most of the famous one here in the UAE, but for some reason maybe your bank is not supported. As you can see, they reward you with $25 credit for each transfer you do, which is higher than $250 for a maximum of 4 per month. It means that you can get basically $100 credit for free just to transfer your money per month. The same thing happens for the other type of transfer. So if you cannot connect your bank account, it means you need to transfer your money directly in the United States. So it's a quite expensive transfer, I'm sure. But okay, what to do? These are the coordinates. It's a bank in the United States. You need to transfer in dollar. And of course, you will pay high commission fee. But when it comes to withdraw the money, there is only one option. You need to state what is your bank account, and you need to pay $25 fee for any withdrawal you are doing. This is why they give you $25 when you deposit the money, because their idea, when you withdraw the money, you can use this credit. But let's jump now on Raseed that I put also here on screen. The situation with Raseed is pretty similar. You cannot connect your bank account in the UAE. You have only basically 3 options, but there are only 2. Apple Pay and debit card, that as you can see, they have a fee, and this Raseed is not reimbursing this fee, so this fee will be paid and deduct from your transfer every time you do a transfer. Or you can do a bank transfer. The bank transfer again is quite expensive because it's international bank transfer, this time not in the United States but in Singapore. So we need to understand that every time we will transfer some money in Raseed, we are going to lose something in fees. This is not ideal, especially if you want to do many small transfers, you are a small investor. It's not nice to lose some percentage every time you transfer the money. Coming to Sarwa, there is only basically 2 options. Or you connect your local bank account. This time is similar to Baraka, but this time they use Link, which is a third-party service that connects your bank account with Sarwa. There is a list of all the banks. For example, I connected the Commercial Bank of Dubai, as you can see. Or you can do wire transfer directly to them. You can do it in dirhams, in dollar, or even in other currency. But the transfer are done to Emirates NBD. So it means that if you cannot connect your bank account, but you want to transfer money from the UAE to them, most probably the fee will be very low. And also when you withdraw the money from Sarwa, it will be commission free. So this is a sort of an hybrid between the good side of Baraka, but it doesn't have the credit card, which in my opinion are quite needed nowadays, especially if you are being an investor and you want to do very small transfers. Sometimes Apple Pay or the debit card can be much better. Now let's enter a little bit in the core of this app. First, before to see how to trade, we will take a look at what kind of information they show to us in case of a stock and of an ETF. After, we'll take a look at the option when we need to buy and sell and see what are the features that this app proposes. Let's start again with Baraka right here. Let's search for a stock. Let's search for Microsoft. So on top we have the price chart, pretty basic. There are information related to the company like PE ratio, market cap, opening, close, volume, this kind of things. There is a sentiment analysis that take information from news and from social network to understand what is the sentiment of the public, the general public, let's say. I will not pay much attention to that. Keep scrolling, you can find the company detail, the information about the dividend. There is also information about the shareholder to understand who are the institutional shareholder. If we click, we see the percentage of Microsoft in some of the most popular ETFs and mutual funds out there. Keep going down, earning per share divided between forecast and actual. We can also see the history of the stock split in case the company has, for example, Microsoft has many. The stock analysis according to Wall Street analysts, so what they predict, what is the outlook. If we go a little bit down, other two important information. ESG score, that maybe for many of you is useless, but is very popular nowadays. And the Sharia score that I believe many of you are interested in. I don't enter into detail because I don't know much about how the Sharia score is done. I'm sure that on the website of Baraka and here in the app there are a lot of information about, but basically tell you if the stock is Sharia compliant or no, so you can decide to invest or not in this company. At the end of the screen, just a bunch of news from Yahoo Finance, Market Watch, this kind of newspaper, let's say. And of course, if you pay the premium service, you have also other information. We'll talk about a little bit later. Let's switch now searching for one ETF. I suggest QQQ, which is probably the most popular ETF out there nowadays, at least the one who get most of the headline. Here we see, apart from the price chart on the top, we have the history of the dividend, and we have the composition of the first 10 position of the ETFs. You can see Apple, Microsoft, the usual of QQQ. If we go a little bit down, it will give us information about in which country this ETF is exposed. In this case, vast majority United States, as you can see. And also the sector of exposure. You see that the biggest part is IT, so technology, but there are also other sectors. This probably, if we check other type of ETF like the S&P 500, it will be much more diversified. So a solid app. They improved a lot comparing the first review I did of Baraka. They give much more information. But let's take a look about Raseed, because the information in Raseed are, in my opinion, pretty much the same that you can find in Baraka. Let's search for Microsoft. Let's try to use the same stock so we can compare exactly the type of information. Okay, there is the price chart as usual, and after there are two buttons. We can go and check clicking on company value, and here there are a series of metric and multiple that are, in my opinion, pretty much the same, maybe something a little bit more comparing to Baraka. Or we can go in earning and analysis. We have the same information of Baraka, the earning per share with forecast and actual number, but what is missing here comparing to Baraka is the ESG score and the Sharia score. But Raseed gives something more. If you check the last link, the last button, there is a connection with the last earning report with the model 10Q, which is the model that each company needs to publish each quarter. This is maybe some type of information you don't want to have it. It's a little bit too much detail for some investor, but it's nice that they give it. Same story for the ETF. Again, let's select QQQ just to remain in line with what we saw up to now. Nice thing in Raseed, there is a different price chart. You can use the normal one or you can use candlestick. Not very important in my opinion, especially for this kind of app, but maybe somebody like it. But apart from that, the information are pretty much the same. The composition of the ETF, the exposure. I will not enter too much into detail. All the information you needed are there. Maybe it's just different way to represent. In this case, Raseed used some type of chart, while Baraka give different information a little bit different from a graphic point of view. But let's switch to Sarwa, because here is quite depressing the situation. I mean, I expected much more from this broker. I reviewed before, so I knew what was a few months ago. I was expecting that they improve it, but we are almost in 2023, and no. And the situation is quite bad because you don't have basically any information. If you open, for example, let's enter again in Microsoft, you see you have a bunch of basic information like dividend yield, beta, opening, close. You have the price chart, description of the company, and that's it. No information about history of dividend, consensus, earnings report, nothing. It's just like this. The same thing happened with the ETF. Let's check QQQ. Really, there is nothing. Not the holding, exposure, nothing. There's a bunch of empty information. Though there are some news, but the news are in every broker. It's really depressing. I don't know why they don't make a little bit of effort. I mean, Sarwa is a very big company. I don't like it at all from this point. Baraka and Raseed are much better up from this point of view. They're much more complete. They give more information. I need to say that anyway, this information that you are getting from Baraka, from Raseed, but also from Sarwa, these are public information. They are not giving you anything that you cannot find just on Google. So it's a nice way to have it in the app, because in the moment you scroll, you want to make an investment, you take a look at what company is. But if you want to study the company by yourself, this is much better to do with some service like I use Seeking Alpha, Coifin, Yahoo Finance, this kind of things. I will make a couple of links into the description. But anyway, better to have such information than don't. Let's enter deeper into the core of this app, and let's go the way you can trade. You can buy and sell stock. Starting again with Baraka. Let's enter in a stock I already own. As you can see, I can choose buy and sell. Let's choose buy. And for example, we have many different options. This option right here, market order, stop order, limit order, market if touched, or how to invest. Of course, how to invest require you to set up also if you want to invest every week, every month, stuff like that. This is a pretty complete possibility of conditional order. The same one you will find in a more professional broker. If we switch to the sell side, you will see that are exactly the same, apart from the auto invest, that there is not the auto selling. So very good from this point of view. Baraka have all the options you need. Even if most of the people don't need all of them, probably you will just trade with market order, especially if you are a long-term investor. What I like is the auto investment. This is important. I like the fact that Baraka introduced the auto investment, like you can do, for example, in Trading 212, that is very popular for that, or M1 Finance, which I think is not available in the UAE, but anyway, all the options you need are there. If we switch to Raseed, this is also depressing, like was Sarwa before, because Raseed have only market order. You cannot do anything, you cannot do any conditional order. So no stop loss, no take profit, nothing. It's just what it is. You enter and you buy at market time. I don't know why they are doing like that. I know that Raseed use a market solicitor in the United States, if I'm not mistaken, is Alpaca. And Alpaca give this possibility. So I don't know why they are not using their APIs for this, because probably they want to keep it simple. I said this when I made the first review of Raseed. I was hoping that they implemented a little bit later. We are, as I said, almost 2023. Still no, only you can do market order. Very basic, and honestly this is not good. If we pass on Sarwa, the situation is much better. Here you can decide, of course, if you want to buy in the exact number of shares, if you want to buy exact number of dollars. This was also in all the other broker, but give you the possibility to decide between limit order and stop order, and give also a small explanation, which is nice, of how it works. So it's pretty similar to Baraka. I mean, Baraka gives something a little bit more, but I will put them on the same table when it comes to the trading possibility. It's a little bit difficult to compare these three apps, because they have their good and bad side, each of them. So let's start to analyze one by one, always starting from Baraka. Here I will put again here on screen. You can see this is, for example, the portfolio page. By the way, the portfolio I have on Baraka and also the one on Raseed come only from referral code that you guys used. So thank you a lot. This is basically free money for me and also for you, because you get free money too. Link into the description if you want to use the referral code and get some free money together. It will be nice. So this is the portfolio. You can see the composition of the portfolio. You can see also some other type of analysis about profit and loss. Also, Baraka gives you a series of information about stock. You can pick some different type of theme. It gives you, for example, what are dividend stock, what are other type of stock. I don't know, it's a way to scroll and to maybe come out with some idea or to find some company you never know about. But at the end, I would say that the app worked very good. It improved a lot comparing the first version of the app. When they did the big update, it was much better in 2022, but they keep updating almost on a weekly basis. I think I see on my phone updating the app at least on weekly basis. The app is smooth, it works fine, the graphics are nice, and if we go in the feature, there are two things that I consider very important. The first one is the dividend reinvestment plan, also called a DRIP. At this stage, you can choose to do it or not to do it. It means that every dividend paid by your stock will be reinvested automatically inside the same stock. If you turn it on, it means every time you get the dividend is reinvested. If you buy the premium version of Baraka, you can choose each different stock of ETF if you want to use their investment plan. So for example, for Apple, I want to use it, for Microsoft, no, and you can decide to do it. But this feature is only available in the paid version of Baraka, which has a price of $100 a year. It's quite expensive. I'm not saying it's useless. It gives you some better information about the stock, some paid stock analysis, which you can find interesting or not, is up to you, and give also some possibility, for example, to customize the DRIP the dividend reinvestment plan. And also other feature I want to talk about, which is very important for all people that have probably a family, is the legacy contact. It means that you can indicate what is your legacy contact. If something happened to you, let's say that you die for some reason, that will pass your account to somebody else. So at least your investment will pass to somebody in quite an easy way. I don't know technically how this works. I don't know if it ever happened to them, but it's nice that they put out something like that. Let's switch to Raseed. The Raseed app is the one that in my opinion works better. I mean, it's better working on your phone, it's very smooth. I really like it a lot. I like the graphic, I like everything of the Raseed app. The first thing we notice, there is this link to crypto, because it's possible to trade crypto in Raseed, while Baraka doesn't allow crypto trading. I'm not a fan of crypto at all, so I will not put any of my money in crypto, but I know that there are many people who want, so if you want to invest also in crypto, maybe you need to think about Raseed. The app works pretty much the same like all the app. There is your portfolio, where there is a composition of your stock. You can go on the main page and check what are the bigger mover, what are the trending stock. Also, there are some kind of stock collection where you can discover, like similar to the one in Baraka, you can discover a new company that you never know. There are a bunch of news. I mean, this is pretty much basic. One important feature that Raseed has and Baraka not is the robo-investor. Robo-investor is a way for you to not pick individual stock over ETF, but follow what is the decision of the broker. The broker gives you some pattern for investment, some more conservative, some more risky, and you can basically choose to allocate a certain amount of money every month automatically inside this, let's say, fixed portfolio, which is composed from different type of ETFs. Everything is written there. You can take a look at which ETF compose each of these investment pattern. It's very similar to what Sarwa does, because Sarwa, if you don't know, apart from a trading app, is also a robo-investor. So let's say that Raseed gives this possibility, something nice that I like it. I think that for many investors out there, it's much better to do with to work with a robo-investor than to pick individual stock, because this is something a little bit more advanced. So it's nice that Raseed gives this possibility, and give the possibility also to follow and to copy, let's say, the investment of some important and famous mutual fund. For example, there is the Elliott fund. You see there is the composition. You can basically copy that, decide how much to invest every month, and just copy the same investment managed under the Elliott fund. But the big news comes to the Prime version, to the subscription model of Raseed, which is cheaper than Baraka. It costs $70 a year compared to 100 of Baraka, but it gives much more. It gives, for example, the possibility to do short selling. Again, I'm not a fan of short selling. I don't think that beginner investor need to do short selling, but I understand that it's popular nowadays. So if you want that, you can have it if you pay the subscription model. They give the possibility to do dollar cost average, so to plan the investment automatically, like it's done in Baraka, but Baraka do it for free, for example. Give the possibility to trade during extending trading hours, so when the market is closed. And also, what is more important in my opinion, if you pay the subscription model, you don't pay any fee to deposit up to $2,000 a month. This can be very interesting. I mean, you need to do a couple of calculations comparing to the other broker to see that if it works for you, but this is a really nice option. But let's switch now to Sarwa. The Sarwa app is the one I like the least. I mean, the app is very basic, the graphic is not very nice. You can see I don't have a portfolio there, so you don't see the app populated. I understand it, but I don't know, it's very basic. It doesn't give you any joy when you scroll the app, when you use the app. And sometimes investment apps, stockbroker need to give a very nice user experience because you want to stay on the app a lot, you want to read, you want to dig, you want to learn. And if the app doesn't give you this feedback, it's, in my opinion, is a little bit difficult to use it. I would prefer much more to use the website. But when it comes to the feature, I need to say that also here Sarwa doesn't give much. The only good part of the Sarwa app is that when you open an account with Sarwa Trade, automatically you can open an account also with Sarwa Invest, which is the robo-investor of Sarwa, which is the main Sarwa product. So basically you can start to add the trading account, you can do some trade there, but at any time you can switch and pass money to the robo-investor, which is very powerful robo-investor. From this point of view, Sarwa robo-investor is much better than the one you can do in Raseed. But this is another type of product. I mean, here we are talking about stockbroker. You open a stockbroker because you want to invest. Basically, you want to pick your stock by yourself, stock or ETFs. So I don't consider this a big of a plus of the app. So between the three, this is the worst app for sure from a usage point of view and from additional feature. Many of you probably jumped directly in this part of the video just to know the final result. The best stockbroker at the moment I'm recording this video for the UAE, but in general the Middle East, is Baraka. Baraka at this stage has one of the best app. I prefer a little bit more Raseed, but also Baraka is a pretty solid app. They update constantly, they add a new feature all the time, it gives you more type of trading possibility. You don't need to use the subscription model because what you pay to Baraka, I mean what you get back, in my opinion, is not much worth it. So I would suggest you don't spend $100. And if you use the referral code, you will get $25 for free. You get some referral code also to Raseed, but give you only $3 for free, which is a pity. What is $3? At least make it 10. And from Sarwa, will give you $50 if you register with my referral code. But this $50 can be used in Baraka Invest. I don't know why they did that. I was hoping that they give this money in the trading account. But okay, so if you are a beginner investor, if you think to start investing in 2023, you want a solid broker, you don't want to jump on premium platform or professional platform like Saxo Bank, Interactive Broker, for example, this is probably the best choice you have. Easy to download, I mean it works from any phone, you don't even have to use the desktop part. I don't know, I suggest that if you need to start from Baraka. But anyway, also Raseed and Sarwa are very safe alternative, valid alternative. They are not bad. At the end, your performance as an investor will not come from the type of app you use, it will come from your brain and how you decide to invest. So thank you for watching this video. I hope it's pretty clear. If you have any question about these three apps, or also if you want to tell me about some other app in the UAE that can be interesting to review, just leave it a comment. I always reply, and see you to the next video.